Guys, I'm excited to tell you about Mountain Tough. Mountain Tough is a fitness and mental toughness app. It is an awesome resource for you guys that are looking to get in shape, maybe for the first time. You guys that are having trouble with your programming, you just don't quite know what to do and when to do it in terms of your physical training regimen, or you guys who are already getting after it and you're looking to really take your fitness to the next level and become a really elite performer, whether that's being a Western hunter, whether that's being an athlete, whether that's just being prepared as a man to be a husband, to be a father, and to be a leader within your community and the culture that we're all living in right now. It's extremely important. And that's what fires me up about Mountain Tough. It is going to give you guys structured hybrid strength and endurance fitness programs, daily workouts, and an exercise library. A mental toughness training is included on the app, community and accountability, and also it's on-the-go access. You can utilize this if you're traveling, if you're on the road. You're going to have your programming and the resource right there with you everywhere you go. It's super easy to navigate. It's well laid out. The founder of Mountain Tough, Dustin, is a friend of mine. He's a Christian man with Christian values, which also means a lot to me personally. I want to let you guys know there is a offer for you guys who have heard about Mountain Tough here on the show. If you'll enter code 3 of 7 on the monthly plan, you can receive your first month free after your 14-day trial. That's 6 weeks free to make sure if this app is going to be for you. I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. Another thing, they have just launched a MUFF prep program specifically for MUFF. So if you guys are planning to do MUFF this year and you want to beat your old numbers, or you want to set a new PR, or you just want to be prepared if it's your first time doing it, this is going to be great programming to prepare you for that Hero WOD, which is a very special workout that I enjoy doing every year. That launches on April 28th. And last thing, hunting season will be here soon. So if you guys are planning on some backcountry hunting this year, don't wait until late August or September to start getting in shape, or you're going to suck out there. Mountain Tough is going to help prepare you for that. These guys are hunters. They know what it takes to get out there and get after it. That's no easy feat, man. So thank you, Mountain Tough, for being a sponsor here on the podcast today. You guys check them out. I promise you, you're going to like what they have here. It's an amazing resource. All the links are in the description of this episode. I want to tell you guys today about Salty Britches. This is the skin barrier ointment that will last longer than you. For most of you guys, that's true. I've put Salty Britches on and ran for 24 hours straight during an ultra marathon and have not had to reapply Salty Britches throughout the course of that 24-hour race, and it worked flawlessly the entire time. So this is a company who has always led with Christian values and produced the best anti-chafing skin barrier ointment on the market. I promise you, you won't be disappointed with this. Salty Britches is a soothing, long-lasting barrier against skin irritation for any occasion. It's created to withstand saltwater chafing and is now trusted by families, athletes, amputees, and military professionals for year-round, all-day protection. This stuff's been used across the board in all different applications, and it absolutely works. You guys can check them out at getsaltybritches.com. And if you'll use the pro code 3 of 7, you'll get 20% off Salty Britches. All of that's going to be linked in the description of this episode. So if you get out there, you get after it, this stuff is going to give you a better experience doing whatever it is that you choose to do, because chafing absolutely sucks. Our premier sponsor for today's episode is Barbell Apparel. Today I've got on the Motive dress shirt, which a lot of you guys may not know. Barbell has a whole lineup of apparel, not just fitness apparel. This Motive shirt is the most comfortable dress shirt you will ever wear. It's tailor-fitted. It doesn't get a bunch of wrinkles in it, and it's just as good as you would expect something to be from Barbell. They've got jeans. They've got running shorts. They've got clothing that you can wear and functions well out on the range while you're moving and shooting. You name it, they've got something that you need. They've been an awesome partner with us here at 307 Project for a long, long time. So if you're looking for some new threads, go check out barbellapparel.com. It's one of the ways that you can support the mission that we have here at 307 Project. Thank you, Barbell Apparel, for making this episode possible. You guys check them out. Again, that's barbellapparel.com. All right, outstanding. Hello, everyone. Son, we back in the OG format here, just the guys.
A long time since we've done a podcast.
Yeah, it has been a long time. We've had some banked up, but glad to be back with y'all. Actually, this is one of my favorite formats to do podcast is Q&A style. And that's what today's going to be. We got some good questions from you guys, both from Patreon and then from our Instagram crowd. And we're going to work through a few of those for you here today and give our 2 cents on them. Before we get into the questions, though, I do want to bring up something for a vote on today's podcast. All right. So everyone has to vote, including our producer, Courtney.
I don't vote.
Well, you have to vote.
It's your civic
because
duty.
this gives us 5, so it prevents us from having a tie.
I don't vote.
This is an important vote, and whatever comes from this vote is going to stand until we vote on it again at some point, if that possibly happens, all right? But here is the standard that I want, or the rule that I want to take a vote on today. This applies to everyone sitting here, part of this team. If you are hunting and you kill a Jake turkey, then you must have that Jake turkey mounted. All right? That's what I want to have a vote on here today. And the reason I'm putting this vote out there is because there's not a lot of turkeys left. Am I right, Cornbread?
Yeah, I mean, overall, yeah.
I mean, where we hunt, there's some turkeys in one area. There ain't none anywhere else. They're just in one area. If they weren't there, you wouldn't even be able to hunt where we hunt. And a Jake turkey is a 1-year-old turkey. Male turkey that barely has a beard, has not even come to maturity yet. You don't want to shoot Jake turkeys, all right? It's not like turkeys are plentiful like deer. And so the reason for this rule is I'm hoping to get some of the members that do hunt as a part of this organization to slow down a little bit, have some ethical hunting practices, actually look at the animal, make sure it is a mature animal, as big or bigger than something that you have previously killed, before you actually take that animal's life, because there's condemnation that will come from this, by the way. The scriptures do tell us you will have to answer for every life that you take, including animal lives. So when you're just out killing stuff on the bloodlust and there's no reason behind it, all right? Well, it's not going to turn out good for you. I'm trying to save you for that. So we're going to take a vote on this. Okay, and so if we pass this, to mount a turkey costs about $1,800. All right, so there's a little, there's a pretty
went
little.
Up. Well, last price was $15. Last quote.
Well, diesel went up today.
Okay. That war got everything going up.
So this is going to slow you down a little bit. You know what I mean? You're going to be thinking when you're out there hunting, I better make sure this isn't a Jake, because it's going to cost me $1,800 if I happen to shoot this bird and it's a Jake turkey. Everybody see the logic behind this rule that I'm trying to pass here for us, okay? Because there's obviously not enough responsibility among us to just hold ourselves to a standard of, not killing Jake turkeys. We have a member here who's killed 2.
How many you killed, Corn?
Total, I've killed 2.
Well, we have 2 members that have killed 2. I've never killed a Jake personally.
Well, you haven't killed but a few turkeys anyway.
You've only.
Let's
how
not get
many
into that.
turkeys
Let's
you
vote on
killed?
this. All right.
I have another thing up for vote after this too.
All right. If you vote yes, meaning we are going to apply this rule, if you kill a Jake turkey, you have to mount it.
Full body mount.
Full body mount. Yep.
Strutting.
It doesn't matter. Any way you want.
I do one of them full body skeleton mounts.
If you vote yes, raise your hand now. Seriously? Well, that just got shut down.
I've got something. I've got something up for vote.
Okay.
Long presentation for nothing.
What do
Now-
you want to vote on now?
We know turkeys are not plentiful, as Chad has said. And on this property we can hunt, they're in one area of among hundreds of acres. All right. So it would not be wise, if you like to turkey hunt and you've got turkeys in this one area, to walk your stupid dogs through the woods and let them chase the animal off of the property that you are trying to hunt on, and push them onto a property that who even knows, right?
Don't shake your head.
And
yes,
then
Cornbread.
then you ruin your opportunity to hunt. So all in favor of not letting your stupid dogs chase the turkeys you're trying to hunt, raise your hand.
Yeah, I'll vote for that out of spite. I hate dogs.
Even the producer.
So
Especially the producer.
What is happening this morning?
and if you do, $1,000 fine.
No, $1,800 fine.
Just keep it. Just keep it square.
You cost us a turkey.
You did cost us a turkey.
Well, unfortunately, you should have added that prior to the vote.
Well, you just can't do it then.
Basically, all you just said is you can't, let your dogs chase turkeys.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. I don't need the money.
Okay.
You just need to not do it.
Well, I'll abide by that. If I'm walking my dogs in an area and they get after a turkey, I will shock them for it.
No, you cannot walk them in the area that the you got to go to an area there are no turkeys on.
Well,
that.
that's not hard to do. So
Exactly.
I'll do that.
And look, you need to let Brooke know about this too.
She's not in here. She's not a member of
You
this.
are the head of the house,
vote
Bubba.
here.
They're your dogs.
If
You've
those
got
dogs
to
go back in
extend
there where them turkeys are at, I just will make sure I'm not on that walk. Because
Just
I
telling
can't
you.
enforce this of people who are not under my dominion in terms of professionally, right?
I'm just telling you.
This seems like a professional issue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What the crap just happened here? I proposed a rule.
Logic prevailed.
Seems more like a domestic issue.
I proposed a rule that was sensible, and I'm the only one that voted for that rule. You proposed a rule that's just arbitrary and ridiculous with no even consequence, and everyone voted for your rule except for me. What the crap is going on here? How did you not vote for my rule, Cornbread?
If you would have said minimum fan mount, I would have voted. Yeah. If it would have been an option to fan mount it, I would have voted yes.
That's the kind of strange thing that is in Corn's head.
No, fan mount's a lot cheaper than the body mount. A lot cheaper. You can shoot a Jake on accident.
Well, then that should inform your vote. You probably shouldn't vote for Chad's stupid rule then.
You can't actually shoot a Jake turkey on accident. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
How?
If he's standing behind a gobbler and you don't see him,
Wait for him to move.
you don't know how many turkeys are back there. He's looking at you. You can't wait.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You don't see him back there.
Yeah.
Or maybe as you pull the trigger, he runs in to the line of pellets.
Hey, crazier things has happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could have put that as an addendum
Yeah.
to
Hey,
my
look,
rule.
It's the nature of turkey hunting. Look, sometimes you decide, do I want to be busted or do I want to shoot this turkey? Sometimes you just got to shoot that turkey. I mean, I forgot there was even Jakes existed.
That can happen too.
Me and Corn was talking. I said, I forgot even about
Just
Jakes.
thought every gobbler was a longbeard.
You don't ever see them or hear from them, you
Yeah.
know?
That's because they're scared to death. They walk around the woods scared to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even have nothing in his craw.
Just everyone. Yeah, he was starving to death.
He had
son.
one leaf this big in his craw.
That's it.
that one I killed yesterday had one acorn in his craw. That was it.
Dang.
Things are hungry.
He had one acorn. It was rotten.
They're going hungry. They picked that one acorn out of all the other ones.
Yeah, we've killed 4 turkeys in 5 hunts. The last 5 hunts, we've killed 4 turkeys.
Yeah.
It's off the chain.
It's all easier once you get on them Osceolas, like Corn said.
Yeah. Once you kill an Osceola,
Did Buck kill one?
he did.
He killed a monster.
What a
dude.
month he's had.
I'm talking about a big boy.
He killed like a 3 or 4 year old turkey.
What a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was something else. I couldn't believe it when I seen that bird.
The common theme with all these birds that have been killed too is that Corn has been there.
All 4 of them.
Yeah. He's got a call. Corn's got a call called a power crystal. And I had a call like that when I was like 17 years old. And he pulled it out and he was hitting on it the other day, rapping on that thing. And I said, dang, man, I used to have a call just like that. He said, this was your call.
That's it.
It's like a 20-year-old,
Yeah.
like $5 turkey call. And
Now they're about 50.
Yeah.
it sounds nothing like a turkey, but he hits that son of a gun and they come running to it. I don't get it.
I say, I ain't heard nothing like that since back in the early 2000s.
06 was the last time I heard anything out of that girl right there. She done come back.
It's the craziest darn thing, man. All right, let's get into these questions today, guys. The first question I'm going to ask is from Kirkland_89s. Kirkland_89s. And if you don't have experience with this, you don't have to give any commentary on it, but I do have experience with it. As a matter of fact, I have a story that I'm going to tell that happened just a few days ago that has to do with this question. What are some ways that you've learned to control your temper? I've been struggling with mine. So what are some ways that you found to help control your temper? Now, first of all, I want to tell you a story that as old as I am now, I still have not got my temper under control, although it is better. The other morning, I was laying in bed, and I was supposed to get up for something. This wasn't race morning. This was the morning after race morning. I was supposed to get up to do something. And my alarm went off, and I stayed in bed. And I was going to get up in 5 minutes. I had another alarm set for 5 minutes after my primary alarm. But my wife told me to get up out of bed. Because when the alarm goes off, the dogs get up. And they start licking her in the face, and she can't rest. And she said, look, get out of bed. And I said, I'm about to get up. And then she said, you're not getting up. You're not getting up. You're not getting up. You're not getting up. And I laid there and I started getting so mad on my inside. And it just all overflowed out of me. And I looked over at her and I yelled at her and said, you need to shush up, you old hag.
Shush up.
Yeah.
That's a lot better. At least you didn't say shut
I
up.
think I did say shut up. I said, you need to shut up, you old hag.
Good grief.
Went back to the 30s.
Let me give y'all some advice while we're on here, on this topic right here.
Well, what happened next?
Oh, boy. Well, I think what happened next? She got up out of bed and said she was going to do whatever the thing was I was supposed to get up out of bed and go do. I remember what it was. It was let the animals out. I was supposed to go let the hogs and chickens and goats out. So when I said, shut up, you old hag, she didn't say nothing. She got out of bed and she said, well, I'm going to go do it. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to stay in bed then. And I stayed in bed till about 9 o'clock.
And you just laid there knowing the rest of my day is going to suck now.
Yeah.
You thought, oh,
No, I was still boiling inside. But I didn't even go back to sleep. I just laid in bed for like 2 hours. Didn't even go back to sleep. Couldn't go back to sleep. I was boiling inside.
Great.
Finally, I got up out of bed, got my day going. I went out. I went in town to do something. And while I was driving to town, the evilness of my actions that morning just got all over me. And I went back home and I said, look, baby, I was overcome by the evil one this morning. And I want to ask for your forgiveness and apologize because I was flat out evil this morning. Because I got to thinking, you really called your wife, yelled at her, told her to shut up, old hag? You really did that? And here's my wife is in the 3rd trimester. And I was supposed to get my butt up and go let these animals out. Told her I was going to do it for her so she could get some rest, you know. I thought, good night. So, go ahead and tell you right now, I don't have my temper completely under control, obviously. Okay? But it has gotten a lot better. Have any of you guys ever had any issues with your temper?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And that's what seems to help me with it, or help me with it, is like to, once it happens, and then however long, a day or two, or maybe even 2 hours, just seeing the ridiculousness of it and just how, much of a butthead I was being, and saying, hey, this is what I did. I remember one time when I was crushing rock, or concrete rather, the crusher got hung up, and I had a helper that was down there in case something happened. He could hit the emergency button or, grab something or whatever it may be. So the concrete crusher got hung up, and it has big jaws that undulate like this that crushes the concrete. So what you're supposed to do, what the smart thing to do, is to stop it, climb up there, and get it unclogged. That's the safe way, because if some concrete grabs you or something like that, it'd jerk you in that thing. You'd be dead in seconds. But I'm going too fast. I ain't got time for that, right? So I climb up there and am trying to lift this 400 or 500 pound piece of concrete and get it wedged in there, and so it starts eating up and crushing. And my helper's just standing down there looking at me, look like a little bird, you know what I mean? And I was just getting madder and madder and madder. Finally, I got it unclogged. I got down there and he said, "You get it, cornbread?" So I just lost it. I mean, just lost it. Every name in the book, right? I get up there in the track hoe, and I get, and he was a small, skinny dude. And I'm up there and I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, dude, that's literally one of God's children. So I just look, finally, after a couple of hours, I just do like that. And he's like, what? Why you want me to cut it off? And I'm like, cut it off. And he cuts it off and gets down there. And I was just convicted to say, hey, dude, like before I even said I'm sorry, like this is what I did, and it was completely wrong, period. Like I let the anger just overtake me. I thought you should have been up there helping me. In fact, I shouldn't even been doing what I was doing. But that's what helps me like the guy at the well the other day. It helped me more to come in here and tell you about that situation than it did. And then the next time, the same dude was there, you know, and I was able just to talk to him. I don't even think he remembered me.
He probably did. Wait to talk to him.
But yeah, talking about it, getting it, saying, hey, I'm an idiot. You know, I let it eat me up.
What about you, Chill?
Oh yeah, plenty.
You get angry?
Plenty. But I told a story a while back when it was just you and me on Monday meeting about one of my road rage incidents. It was several months ago. I won't go into that full story, but
That's dangerous stuff.
I don't have that much insight on what really helps me not do it, because it's like there's these times that it just something overtakes you and you do it, you know what I mean? But I guess why that's not more common than it is or whatever is, if I could come up with a tool. I mean, I like to sit in it and imagine what I actually looked like when I was doing the thing, because boy, that really like makes it real to you. Cause you can't I wish I could get a video of myself doing it, because it would literally be so hard to look at if you had to watch it back. But I'll just think back and I really try to imagine it, you know, after the fact. And, yeah, boy, that'll, I mean, that makes you, I feel like, really realize it. And, doing that over time, hopefully has lessened how angry I get or any, outbursts. But yeah, no, I definitely do. I mean, sometimes in the car, you know, sometimes just when something, usually it's like, if you've been stressed about something, stuff not going your way, then there's like a tipping point, you know, like the rock gets stuck or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, been holding this in. Let's let loose here. You know what I mean? That's really what happens. And, so another, I guess, tool, if you'd say, cause that's what he's at. I don't have it. I'm not good at giving those kind of things, but that's what he's asking for. And I think, trying to resolve the issue of whatever's like letting that stress build up before it gets pin up so much that it's bound to explode is one way. Like, I'm not liable to have an outburst unless it's been building up for a long time. You know what I mean? And that could be that could be anything that's causing that, and unrelated to what ends up setting you off. Like, that's the thing. A lot of times when I've done that before, the thing that sets you off ain't even a big deal, and wouldn't be a big deal 90% of the time, you know. But it's just because you're...
Yeah, it's stopping what you wanted to do.
Yeah, but it wouldn't even be a big deal. It's just because you're letting something fester up and bother you and stress you, and you're living on edge. And
like with the crushing, I wanted to crush a whole bunch of stuff really, really fast.
Yeah.
And that messed it up. Or at the well, I don't like the smell of gasoline. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And I had to smell gasoline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's two good things. Like, both of those kind of tie into reflecting on the outburst, or, you know, letting your temper get the best of you, or in my case, getting overcome by the evil one. Reflecting on that, talking about it with the person, trying to make it right with the person, you know, you flew off the handle on, if you have the opportunity. Picturing yourself, how stupid you probably looked, you know, while you were laying there in bed calling your wife a old hag. You know, that's not a good image of a man, a husband. Something that I've noticed for myself, when my temper gets bad and I lose control of my anger, I can almost always reflect back on, it happens in a season or a period of time where I'm usually too busy to spend time in the morning reading my Bible and praying. Like, that's what this outburst I had the other morning with my wife happened. We've been on this hunt down in Florida. We get home, we jump right into the race. We got 3 consecutive days tied up in the race. We're all tired and all this, right? And it's okay to be tired and lack of sleep and like all that. Like, I'm not blaming it on that. I'm saying that during that period of time, I wasn't making the extra effort to spend some time in prayer and in scripture, especially in the morning, just to put my mind back in the proper frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And almost always when I have an outburst, it's on account of that. It's at least I think that plays into it, because it'll be in a season where I have lost discipline when it comes to prayer and studying the scriptures. And that's not always because I'm too busy to do it. Sometimes I lose discipline and I don't do those things just because I'm being lazy. Just because I don't want to, because I don't feel like, I'm, close to the Lord, or there's no big question to ask, or there's no big struggle in life. Life might be really good, and I'll neglect those things. And I think it's just so easy for us in this life to just lose perspective of who we are as Christians, as sons and daughters of Christ. It's just so easy to lose that perspective and just spin out, man, and act like, and start acting like the world acts. But why do you think even now? So I know when I was younger, if I got mad about something and lost my temper about something, I would spend days or weeks justifying my actions and why I got mad. And I would never come to the conclusion that I was wrong for losing my temper. You know what I mean? So what's changed?
For me,
yeah,
particular from versus when the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was younger, especially, and of course when I was drinking alcohol the way I was, if I was mad, we was fighting. If I was mad at you, we was gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it was. And then there was no reflection over. There was actually pride and honor with it. Oh, I did this to that person, and I went up and told this person this and that, and I tried to get them to fight me, and they wouldn't fight me, or we got in a fight, and I busted his head.
Yeah.
On and on and on. It was actually the complete opposite. It was all gas pedal.
Yeah. What about you, Blake? You got anything on this?
Yeah, I get mad. Mostly with the kids, just all kind of stuff going on. But usually when you do, it's all selfish. All the examples we gave. Chili's mad in the car because someone did this to him, and, you're mad because you wanted to sleep. You didn't want to get up, and Corn's mad. We're all mad because we were so busy. We want to do these things. We don't have time for other people. We can't be inconvenienced. But for me, usually when you get by yourself, you end up noticing it. That's what everybody said. After you calm down, you get off to yourself, you think back and you say, that wasn't right. No one's ever said, well, maybe in a drunken state,
yeah,
got that joker, told her what she needed to hear, if you're serving the Lord. So in the moment with the kids, I'll tell them, look, I'm starting to get, and it's your own immaturity that you can't control it. It's your fault that you can't control your emotions. You got to figure it out, however it is. But I'll tell the kids, I'm getting really angry right now. You need to either stop this or we need to separate. And just a regular calm voice like that. And to me, the voice, even to myself, is like practical, calms you down. Because whenever you get worked up, you may not even realize you're talking in this heightened voice, this faster cadence, higher volume. But if you can just say, hey, we need to take a break because I'm tired and I don't want to get out of bed right now. And by you keep on saying that, it's really making me mad. You need to stop that. That's a lot better than telling them to shut up, but you don't want to do that or think of that in the moment. But eventually you get mad enough, at least I can start to recognize it ahead of time and do those things. And it helps sometimes. Sometimes you don't do it, and then the other person knows you're mad and they want to keep on doing it because they want to aggravate you or something. But I mean, that's just something practical that I've done that does work.
Yeah. Get ahead of it.
Yeah.
I think that's practical advice. Like, you know the things that typically trigger you and make you angry according to however you are. So if there is ways you can get ahead of it, I know times I've seen you get a little temperamental is when things get unorganized. Because you like your mess to be organized. You like your office to be organized, your computer, your everything. You've always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the start to a really, that's aggravating enough, but then I'm easily triggered after that.
So, like, for you, another way to get ahead of it is keep your mess organized and,
Yeah, I do, but people around me don't, so that's hard.
Well, that's been the story of your life.
Yeah. Yep.
I used to come in and destroy your mess all the time.
Yep.
His room when we were growing up was always just pristine. Everything had a place, was put away, clean. And I kind of messed that up.
And I'm going to tell you, you're going to answer for that. It says destroyers of the earth. You know what it says about that?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we learned about that, didn't we? Sheesh.
There was one time he got so mad at me for doing something with his room, taking one of his CDs or something. He used to burn CDs too. That used to be like his specialty.
Oh, man,
he burned CDs for like everybody. If you needed music, go to him because he had it figured out. He could get any song you wanted. And I would take his CDs and they'd last about a day in my truck because they'd come back all scratched up and they wouldn't play. And I had a real nice old 79 Ford. And he backed it out there in the middle of the dang road and just started burning the tires off of it one day. And I come out after him and he just jumped out of the truck and left the truck in the middle of the road. And my specialty was always chasing him down and making him eat dirt. And his specialty was cutting me with rocks.
I did that one time. I cut him bad with a rock.
He would find a sharp rock and slash me with it.
I cut him bad. I let him get up close to me. He didn't know I had that shiv in my hand. He got up on me within striking distance. Well, I cut him good. I climbed the climbing stand up high in the tree one day and jumped out of it so he couldn't get it to hunt out of. And
Blake is the type of guy that you'll be around for just a little while and you'll go, oh, Blake, he'll cut you.
Yeah.
He'll shiv you.
I remember one time I had a jug of pennies, big jug of pennies, and I put it on my TV stand next to my door and tied a rope to the doorknob because he was trying to come in there and get my stuff. So I thought I can't go to sleep because he's going to come in here and get it. So I tied that up as an alarm so that when he tried to come in, I'd get up and cut him.
He's been a penny pincher since day one, man.
Oh, I've always collected coins.
He's ate a lot of dirt in his day, too.
Drew a lot of blood. I ate a lot of dirt.
Yep. So there's your couple tips on getting your temper under control. Hopefully it helps, man. I'm in agreement with all those. Reflect on what you did. Don't be so prideful that you can't admit that what you did was wrong. Do everything you can to make it right. Picture how stupid you look when you lose your temper. Get ahead of it. Keep your head in prayer, in scripture, especially at the start of every day.
That's the thing.
It's going to set you up for success.
Everything else is what we would call self-help. It's really not going to do anything for you till you surrender your will to the Lord's. That's the main thing.
A great exercise, I think, too, for scriptures. I want to say there's 30 or 31 proverbs in the book of Proverbs. Just read one of those a day. I mean, the stuff in there, man. I read Proverbs almost every day. It's very practical life stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's like what it's there for, to make you be like, okay, this is what I need to look out for today. This is how I need to act today. And it's very helpful. A lot of questions were how we approach reading scripture and stuff like that. Well, that's just one of the things that I try to do, is read at least one of those Proverbs every day, one chapter in Proverbs. All right. Oh, there was a question in here that I wanted to ask y'all about. Somebody asked, and I think this is very applicable, seeing we just took a drive down to Florida, and for about 200 miles, from about an hour north of Atlanta to an hour and a half south of Atlanta, you could smell marijuana the entire drive.
All the way down to our Airbnb.
The entire drive. You could, and it was, I'm talking about, it was dank, son. It wasn't like you just catch a whiff of it. It was flooding the entire car.
You go, dank.
And somebody asked the question, is it wrong to have a few drinks or to smoke marijuana? Ought you to be doing that, having a few drinks or smoking marijuana? I mean, I think it's an applicable question, because it seems to me like people are smoking weed like cigarettes, going down the road, just everywhere. And I agree, the whole war against marijuana and demonizing marijuana and all this crap is ridiculous. And I think you could easily make a case that alcohol is I don't even think you have to make a case for it. I think it's evident that alcohol is a much more powerful, addictive, and destructive drug than marijuana. But ought you to be smoking marijuana? And look, the only thing that we can speak for is other believers, all right? If you're an unbeliever, I say do whatever. If you're an unbeliever, you might as well just do whatever you want to do. I mean, seriously, why would you not?
What do you have to answer to?
Why would you not? I mean, you might as well have 4 or 5 wives.
Oh, don't marry him.
You might as well, don't even marry him. 4 or 5 girlfriends. You might as well cheat people to get your own wealth stacked up. You might as well do it. Do it all. Why? I mean, I'm serious. Why wouldn't you? But I mean, what do you think about this marijuana smoking thing, or just having a few drinks? Because I'll tell you from my angle, me personally, I will drink a beer on a rare occasion. Rare occasion. 1 beer. All right. But even I know when I do that I'm making a choice to play with fire. And I'm not even addictive, never been an alcoholic, none of that. But I know I'm playing with something that could burn me. All right. And I don't think that's a smart choice to make. The thing with the marijuana, man, I'm going to give my 2 cents and then let y'all hit it. The thing with the marijuana to me is most of y'all are already lazy enough. I mean, honestly, most of y'all are lazy enough as it is. I mean, you have trouble doing anything. Well, so you don't need to be smoking a weed that's going to make you even lazier than you already are. So, no, don't do it. You're stupid to do it. It's just, what is it adding? What, you smoking marijuana, what is it? Look, I know what you're saying. Well, it helps me relax. Look. It helps me sleep. It helps me relax. It helps me de-stress, all this stuff. Well, that's not the answer, guy. If you're stressed and you can't relax and you can't sleep, it's probably because your whole dang life is screwed up. How about unscrew up your life? You don't want to do that though, do you? Because that's going to take a little extra work for you. I know you don't want to do that. You just want to smoke your marijuana, right? You're a freaking turd, man, if you smoke marijuana, man. That's what I think about it. You smoke marijuana, you're a dang turd. And I don't care who you are. No, you ought not be smoking marijuana, man. What do y'all think about it?
I don't really have much I can add to that. I mean, why are you smoking it to begin with? To get some type of effect from something. The one beer, a few drinks. Why are you drinking more than one? You wouldn't drink 3 Mountain Dews in a row.
Wow.
You're drinking 3 drinks of whatever it may be for some type of effect. Period. That's what you're doing. Marijuana, crack, cocaine, heroin, any of it. You're doing it for some type of effect, and that's to eliminate your sober mind.
It's to escape reality.
Exactly.
It's to escape reality is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the alcohol is, if you got a problem with it, then that's the problem. But if you don't, it's more about the ones who see you do it. And the stumbling block it could be for them, the negative appearance to your testimony it could be for them, whatever. If a kid sees it in your refrigerator and they know it's bad and they say, well, what's so-and-so got that in his refrigerator for? To me, that's the big problem. If you don't have a problem with alcohol, just because you can drink it don't mean you should drink it because other people's watching.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
For sure. I just ain't messing with that crap, man. I ain't messing with drugs and crap, man. Just figure out how to face up to reality, dude. Whatever your dang problems are. Look, if your life sucks, well, figure out something to do to go have fun. Go on a turkey hunt. You can't rest good? Go run a freaking 250-mile race. See if you don't rest up.
Or go turkey hunt.
Or go turkey hunt many days in a row. You'll get to resting. I don't know, man. I mean, people smoking this stuff like cigarettes.
Oh, it's bad. Well, not all places lock you up for it no more. Up yonder in Somerville, it's just a ticket now.
I think it is in Rome,
if it's less than an ounce, you just get a ticket, just like an expired tag.
Probably less fine than expired tag.
It's $75 in Somerville.
Have an expired tag cost you $200.
It's $200 for an expired tag. Yeah.
Smoke a joint, you get $75.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, we're not the solution to all this is not to make it illegal, I don't think. That hasn't worked. But that's a whole nother conversation. You don't smoke that weed, do you, Chill?
No. Not regular. He ain't got a problem with it.
Oh, man.
Why do you refrain? Now, Chili's never had a drop of alcohol, never even smoked a cigarette.
Why do I refrain? Because I don't want to.
Why have you refrained from it?
I can't wrap my head around why you would want to. The question was, is it bad? I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, is it bad to drink alcohol? Is it bad to smoke weed at all? I mean, I don't really know if it is or not. I mean, it sounds like none of us really do, because we're all like, well, I mean, if you just have a beer, what's wrong with that? You know, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, that's my position. I don't, you kind of lean towards it's not. But
well, it obviously ain't good, or you would be hitting that weed.
Well, not necessarily.
Huh?
I mean,
You do what's good for you.
You do what's good for you, Bubba.
I'm just saying, like, I don't, you know, there's all this talk about, well, it's not wrong to have a little bit, but if you have all this, then it's wrong. It's like, well, it just sounds like it's wrong then. But I don't really know how to answer that. But and that was the question. So I don't have much to say. I don't really know. But then you asked me why I don't do it, because I have no desire to. Let's start with that.
You think it'd be bad for you if you did it?
I have no desire for that. Like why would I smoke weed? Why would I smoke a cigarette? It's nasty.
Bad for you.
Like whatever. I mean, it's literally nasty. I hate the smell of it. It destroys everything that you own, makes it smell like cigarettes. Yeah, it probably destroys your lungs. I mean, alcohol too. It's literally a toxin.
Poison.
I mean,
it's poison.
Why would I drink that? I mean, it's not even an appealing toxin to me. Like, okay, sometimes I'll eat,
Kale.
Whatever, a Little Debbie. So, name some kind of bad thing for you. But at least it's appealing. It tastes good. A dang beer, it smells awful to me. So I guess I can't know. Maybe it tastes good because, like I said, I've never tried it, but don't have a desire to.
Yeah, and I think based off of those technical stats that we just came up with, we can definitively say it is bad. It's not good.
Is it morally wrong to drink it? That's what I don't really know the answer to.
Well, we know it's bad.
Seems bad to do.
Guarantee you it is. So, look, man, learn how to deal with whatever life's throwing at you. Figure it out, dude. Get off your darn weed pipe. Give me a stinking break. I got a Patreon question right here. Why do people who claim to have faith in God keep looking for the easy button? And that's the question. But this is from Sean Snyder. He goes on to say, quite a few years ago, we hit a time in history where the law of diminishing returns applied to our comfort level. I get what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's human nature.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, and he asked, specifically for the believer, but, we talk a lot about how you're transformed when you receive the Holy Spirit, but I don't see any evidence that human nature that you still have to fight against goes away. You know what I mean? And that's human nature, man.
It's flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's human nature. Look for the easy way out. I mean, your flesh is going to want to do that for the rest of your life. Why is it that way? I don't know, but it is. And that's a common theme in every person I've ever known, believer or not. They have to fight against, looking for that easy way. It's me.
Yeah, even the Apostle Paul tells us through many tribulations we will be saved, right? He doesn't the scriptures don't promise us a easy life. And we actually talked about this last night on Resurrected. The Almighty was really upfront with us about why things are hard. He actually told us right off the rip in the 3rd chapter of Genesis why things are so hard. Y'all remember when man ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and then we fell under this curse? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk about all the time how so much stuff now is actually an effort to subvert the curse that we're all under.
Yeah.
They're actually trying to come up with ways to create, or a way to create, an artificial womb so that women no longer have to bear children. That's because we want to subvert the curse.
When you read that in Genesis, you think, oh, that's not that bad. You gotta have babies. You gotta have to work, thorns and thistles, and your marriage is going to be rough.
Yeah.
But then you live life and you say, really, all of it stemming from that?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And, you know, there's a big thing now is everybody trying to figure out how to live longer and ultimately not die.
Yeah.
I read an article about this the other day that, I mean, there is some really wealthy people making a big effort to figure out how to upload the human consciousness to some sort of robot or machine. Like they're really, like, y'all think that sounds like a joke. No, they're actually trying to figure out how to do this crap.
Yeah.
And so much of the effort that's being made today is trying to figure out how to subvert the curse that we're all under. And it still applies to us, man. So why is everybody looking for the easy button? Well, it is human nature. And I also think it's just our, going back to the previous conversation, our unwillingness as Christians to accept the reality of the human experience at this point in time. Nothing good's going to come easy, man. Like you can go ahead and take that to the bank. And it wasn't meant to be that way. But you need to just accept that that is the way it is. And adjust your expectations on how you think this life's going to go.
That artificial womb spooks me out. You told me about that the other day.
Yeah.
I've had 2 dreams about that. You telling me about that stuff no more.
Yeah, it's bad stuff, man.
Yeah.
There's all kind of stuff going on. We were having a conversation the other day, you know. I think we would all sit around here and definitively agree on the fact that abortion is a terrible thing. Well, we were just talking the other day about this new thing that's out. What do they call it? What do they call this? Where they pair up the egg and the sperm?
The
in vitro
IVF and how they're selecting traits for it and what all that can get into. Yeah.
So they're taking multiple eggs from a woman and then from her husband taking sperm, and they're fertilizing all these eggs, and then they're looking at the genes of all of those embryos, and then they're selecting the one that has the fewest gene mutations. They're implanting that into the woman.
Trashing the rest.
And trashing the rest of them.
Mm.
But nobody sees anything wrong with that.
Which that's what the body does naturally, right? But it's God choosing that, we would say. Right? I mean, because multiple eggs are fertilized in one. I mean, if you have twins or whatever, then you got the exception. But they're basically taking the place of choosing the one that you think is good.
Yeah, it's playing God. That's what it all is.
Yeah, nobody sees anything wrong with that.
Yeah, we would say that someone born with some sort of handicap is not good. You know, you see that as not good. And God clearly sees it as good because he chose them to be born. So there's some purpose.
Yeah, it's part of his will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got one for y'all here. This is actually from a Patreon member. Tugboat. If a Christian still deals with trauma from 24 years ago from an accident, does he lack faith? So, obviously something happened 24 years ago. It's affected his entire life. And it just sounds like, I guess in short terms, he just can't put it behind him. Is that because of lack of faith? Corn, you got some trauma in your past.
Yeah. I mean, I think the key words there, he's dealing with it. He deals with it. I think that shows faith. 100%. That dealing with it shows faith. You just explained it a while ago. We're not promised a good life with rainbows and unicorns. You know, there's work to be done. The Lord's going to work through everyone in different ways. 100%. I think that shows faith, dealing with it.
I like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, we look at things like that as if we could do anything about it. You can't control what bothers you.
That's right. Absolutely.
You know?
What bothers you may not bother me.
Right.
And I'm sure you've seen some stuff. Me and Blake's seen some stuff policing. I'm sure Chili's seen some stuff. But what might bother me may not even bother Chili.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
100%. That I remember I worked where 2 toddlers drowned in a swimming pool. And every time I go to a swimming pool, I think about that. Y'all, swimming pool don't bother y'all at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think about those kids being in a pool every time. It won't be the pool I'm at, but I think about that. You know what I'm saying? So that I think about it, and then I work through it, and maybe I pray about it that night. Maybe I don't. Maybe I pray about it 2 months later. But yeah, 100%.
I don't know where that notion even came from, that because you're dealing with something you would be lacking faith. I mean, like that's like someone has probably told him that at some point, or I mean, I don't.
Well, I think that's a pretty common answer in evangelical Christianity. Hey, look,
I don't know where that comes from. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, why don't you get over it? Like, you know, you've been forgiven, or you're not supposed to look forward to anything in this life, or, you know.
That's completely ridiculous. Like the notion of that. I mean, you know, there's probably a lot of things that we do in life that display that display our lack of faith. There is for me. I mean, it's like, why do I do this or that? I mean, I'm not saying that can't be a thing or not a thing. I mean, sure it is. I've noticed it in my life, but like the notion that as a default, because you're dealing with trauma, I mean, even the way he wrote it, like even 24 years later, like something's in his head that like, well, you ought to be over it by now. Even if you dealt with it for 2 years, that's okay. But 24 years, that's too long. You know, that must be a lack of faith. I mean, where did that idea even come from? And it's ridiculous. That's all I got to say about it.
I've heard people say that, like Christian people say, well, if you're afraid of dying, you obviously don't believe. Like, that's a lack of faith. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one that's ever said that is unafraid of dying.
I know, but that's the message, man.
100%. The people that say that are probably more afraid of dying because they're worried about, I mean, like, that is another ridiculous thing to say.
I've sure heard it. What about where the scriptures tell us, like, don't worry about things, cast your anxieties upon the Lord, right? Yeah. That's where a lot of, you know, self-righteous Pharisaical type of Christians are making these statements from these scriptures that are encouraging us to place our worries and our anxieties and our trauma upon God. That don't mean you're just going to forget about it and move on like nothing ever happened.
Well, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. Cast our worries upon the Lord. I mean, the better question is, anytime you fail to meet the standard of what we ought to do, is that a lack of faith? I mean, that's a better question, because, and maybe it is. Maybe we want to say that it is, but I mean, that's the appropriate phrasing for the question, because, yeah, like everything is of how we're supposed to live and is listed out in the Bible, and we've failed to meet the standard even as believers. And, you know, is that a lack of faith? I guess so. I mean, you could make the argument it is, right? Like, why do I get road rage? You know, at times, I mean, maybe that's I mean, I'm fine with boiling it down to that. But on the surface, the question being, you know, because the Bible says don't worry and cast all your traumas and anxieties and everything on the Lord, but I'm still dealing with this 24 years later, so that must be a problem that I'm dealing with. No. That's ridiculous.
I think this question for a lot of people also just stems out of the culture that we live in that has kind of like demonized any sort of traumatic experience that you've had in life, and you know, tells us we've got to do everything that we can to get rid of the results of these traumatic experiences that we've had. Like, you look, man, you got to get hooked up to all kind of machines. You got to take all this medicine. You got to go see all these doctors and counselors and everything, because if you don't get rid of the effects of this trauma, you're broken. You're not going to be you're not like everybody else. Like, that's the culture that we live in, right? Is
Well, yeah, it's that if you have trauma because a traumatic thing happened to you, that's wrong. Like, that shouldn't be your you know, that should never happen. And it's like, well, I agree that it would be good if no one ever had a traumatic experience. Like, that would probably be good. But we do as humans. And if you do, well, then you should have some reaction to that. Because that's normal. You know what I mean?
I was talking to a group the other day about, they were talking about trauma and with kids and stuff, and they were defining it, and they were all sitting around talking about it as if by the definition they given that they didn't have trauma. And I said, well, by this definition here, all of us sitting here have been traumatized. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting here talking about it like these certain group of kids have that trauma, and we don't.
Yeah.
So all of you sitting here, and it's all undealt with. If you want to describe, you know, It's like you can't define something like that and then act like, oh, I don't have that, but you do.
Yeah.
We all have things that have happened to us that weren't ever supposed to happen to us, you know, in the sovereign will of God, you know, the initial perfect creation of man wasn't supposed to happen to us. And I think that there is a recent shift of people hyper focusing on your trauma and just let's get down to the root of it. Let's talk about it all the time. Let's meet with our friends and talk about it, and it just drag me down all the time. I mean, we've all had stuff happen to us, and, you know, you get on with it. Yeah, it's bad and it happens, and it helps to talk to people about it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things, but it has become the center of attention for a lot of people that have what they call trauma, and they use it, I don't know for what, to get attention, to make themselves feel good, to make themselves feel bad about themselves, pity, I'm not sure.
Or they just get stuck on it because they think if they don't figure out some way to get rid of it, their life is over.
Maybe so. I mean, but that wasn't the case when we were kids. No. I don't ever remember anybody talking about anything.
Well, there's a balance in that, though. Because when you look at our parents' generation, because they never talked about anything bad that happened, they find themselves in a jumbled up a bird's nest of bull crap that would literally take the rest of their lives even to unravel to a point that it doesn't affect them on a day-to-day basis. Right. So there's a balance in this, okay?
But it swung the other side now to where at time, I mean, it's not all that way, but it swung far to the other side that now this is going to be the center of your existence, to talk about this and get to the root of what's caused it so that you can get rid of it, maybe for those reasons.
Yeah, and the word dealing with it is key too. So what are you dealing with? Are you dealing with something that is disabling you, like causing you depression,
Yeah.
anxiety, so on and so forth, or like some of those extreme situations you're talking about, are you dealing with just totally trying to erase the memory? Well,
Yeah.
if you're doing that, you're going down a bad road right there,
Yeah.
Bubba. But if it's something that's, incapacitating you from doing things, absolutely, there's some stuff that's got to be done there.
Yeah.
But like Chili said, we all got some type of trauma. You're trying to erase every memory you got.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a large tendency, period, and especially in our culture, that even in this crowd of like Blake's saying, that hyper focuses on trauma and everybody's got it and let's talk about it and let's do this and glorifying it, and is even still in that, but we tend to downplay any sort of thing anyone's dealing with until it hits home with us, and it's like, oh dang, that happened to me too. That's legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if anyone else is dealing with something that you've never dealt with, like you were talking about, everyone's different.
Yeah.
Pool don't bother me.
Right.
So I could easily go, dude, it's a freaking pool.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well, I saw 2 kids drown in how about you try that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, well, that happened to me. So you talk about the pool, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I get it. Like I saw that too. The pool bug, like that's legitimate. But someone who has, their parents used to beat them or something, like I never dealt with that. So that's kind of like, come on, man, that's child's play. You didn't see what I've seen. Like we really do that, or I do it. Like you downplay what someone else is dealing with because you haven't experienced it, and you say, well, that must be easy. But this that I've dealt with is really hard. And it's like, whatever is the worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not even any sense in comparing it.
No, it's goofy to compare it.
Yeah. It's like you see that you probably saw it with your kids. They'll be upset and ill and fussing about something, and you're like, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, you forgot your pencil for school today, and it was the one pencil, or whatever
Yeah.
the thing is, like that's not a big deal. But to them, it's a big deal for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And yeah, it's how you respond to it and think about it that makes all the difference.
I think this is also a big conversation in the veteran community, and especially in the
for
veteran
sure.
community that are Christians, like, because even the label that the VA has put on the whole trauma thing being post-traumatic stress disorder, like it's even been medically labeled as this disorder. There's something wrong with you, right?
Yeah, like as if you're not supposed to have had that.
Yeah, you got to take a medicine.
After what you saw or dealt with or did.
Yeah.
You're not, that's, normal people don't have any effects from that, and you do. So like, this is a disorder that we have to medicate. It's like, wouldn't this be the natural?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be natural that I'm dealing with this after that? Like, but it's seen as a disorder.
Yeah,
And a
it's labeled as
disorder.
a disorder. Yeah,
You don't, most disorders you don't get rid of.
Yeah.
You hear, I got a disorder, and you think, oh, you're going to have that the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'll say on this, just from my own personal perspective, because we all, like we just stated, we all have things that affect us as different than probably the thing that you're dealing with, Tugboat. But when I look back on my life and now being who I am today, the trauma that I've experienced has actually shaped me into who I am today. It's molded me and formed me, and it's in some seasons in a bad way, but as I mature, I can see a benefit to it in a lot of ways. Like as a veteran, if I'm hyper vigilant or a loud noise jolts me or something like that, is all results of trauma, right? Do I see that as a lack of faith for me personally? I don't. That never even occurs to me. that the trauma that I've experienced affects who I am in certain situations, in certain scenarios. It affects how I react to certain situations, certain scenarios. Sometimes it causes stress and anxiety in me in certain situations. Do I see that as a lack of faith? No, it doesn't occur to me at all, ever. I just look at it and I say, this is the life that I've led. These are the things that's happened to me. It's caused me to be the type of person that I am today. Sometimes the results of that trauma, sometimes it sucks. Sometimes I might not like it. But as long as it doesn't get to the point that it's causing me to harm myself or harm others, it's happening because whatever that trauma was, it has an effect on you. I also understand that's not the way things are supposed to be. But again, I accept the reality of the human condition. Since the fall of the first man, the representative of all humans. And that's my 2 cents on it. That's where I stand on it. It never occurs to me. Look, man, I can't go to a concert. I'm just too hyper vigilant. It'll just I'll be exhausted in 5 minutes because I'm trying to see everything that's going on and I'm stressing about everybody. I can't enjoy those things. Like if I was to go to a comedy show or something, like I think that's the reason I can't enjoy that is because I can't enjoy those things. I can't enjoy music at a concert. But I'm not sitting here thinking, well, dang, I need to cast my worries upon the Lord and not worry about all this stuff. That's never occurred to me. I'm just like, well, it's this way because of these things I've experienced, and it is what it is, man.
Another thing too is not everything even has to be trauma or a result of trauma. It can just be things that, like you said, that bother you. I mean, we've got all kinds of weird things that go on. And
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not even all necessarily trauma. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's another thing. Everything gets lumped into that, and that's not even what it at all is. But
yeah. Just weird things that go. I can't sit with my back to the door at a restaurant unless I'm with y'all, because I know y'all could see something coming. I know y'all are like that. You get what I mean? But if I'm with family or other friends or whatever, no, y'all, I get to watch the door. Y'all can't watch the door, Bubba. You see what I'm saying? That's not trauma. That's just a weird, quirky thing, you know? But somebody could label it, oh, something happened to you, and that's why you can't. No, nothing happened to me, Bubba.
It's really just you trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is just, response to loud noises and shooting a Jake. I mean, might not ever shoot
that might have given you trauma.
Might not ever shoot another turkey.
You might wait too long every time now and get busted every single time.
Gave Chad trauma.
Yeah. So.
Well, all right, boys. We appreciate y'all's questions today. I always like hearing what's on y'all's mind and just sparking good conversation, man, stuff that makes us think and challenges us to hopefully provide some valuable commentary or insight that maybe helps somebody out there. That's what this is all about. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you have anything that you want to add to the answers or the discussions that we had about the questions that were asked today, drop them in the comments, man. Maybe somebody will read what you got to say, and maybe it'll help them. That's what this is all about. So you guys, if you're listening on the Apple podcast player, please make sure you follow the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Or on Spotify, make sure you follow the channel, the podcast here. It helps us out a lot. It's an easy way that you guys can give back a little bit if you got something out of the show today. All right, enough said.